Hi guys, it's Julian and welcome back to another video. Well, today we will continue reading this book, which it is Polyglot Notes, and I will give you a little review about the main topics which we discussed yesterday. First of all, I want to say that, here it's 5 a.m., so, actually 5 and 50 a.m. So my mind is blowing up right now because I didn't sleep anything, but I'm committed with this section and with this podcast. So I will do my best and I will uh, do what I have to do. So I'm here, but if I sound a little bit tired or yeah, something like that, I apologize about that. But well, talking about the topics which we discussed yesterday. Basically, the last chapter, or yeah, the last page, the last page which the book talked, it was how to learn or to improve your grammar skills, and the book talk about many techniques which you can apply to improve your grammar, like read articles or play games which involves grammar, like a guess game, or rewrite a book to learn how the grammar works. And well, the book said at the same time that usually you don't need to try to understand the logic about the grammar or about the behind a language. The most important thing is to learn the grammar and the exception, and then you will be able to understand in which context apply each one. And well, that's it basically. And well, it had more examples, but that was the most important. And well, today we continue with the next page and with the next chapters. So the last page in which we read, it was the, give me a second, the page 163, and the last topic was learn grammar in verse, which it is a technique to learn grammar, as we mentioned. So the next topic, it is get rid of the physio- sorry again get rid of the psychological barriers. Some people are so afraid of mistakes that they're again some people are so afraid of mistakes that they try to avoid simple sentences, avoid using different times. Only by practicing your knowledge during communication will you be able to understand what you have learned well and what you need to work on. Grammar exercise book. Wait a minute. Oh, it is okay. Grammar exercise book. The task of the collection. Dude, I'm so tired. But sorry again. Grammar exercise book. The task of collection of exercises. Dude, this lag is so hard for my eyes. Again, grammar exercise book. The task of the collection of exercises is the practical application of grammatical rules. The task of the collection of exercises is the practical application of grammatical rules. You should read the rule, look at the examples that have understood this rule. Once again, look at the rule and try to perform the corresponding exercises in the collection. Ideally, such compilations go with the answers. Therefore, you will to be able to check yourself. If you have found an error, then go back to theory and find the answer to why. I'm so bad, dude. It's funny. At least you will be making fun of me a little bit with this video. Well, therefore, you will be able to check yourself. If you have found an error, then go back to theory, find the answer to why it is written this way and not to otherwise. Only after that do only after that do another exercise. Do not leave some moments incomprehensible and unresolved. Such little things will accumulate until they overflow. Until they overflow you with the head. If the answer is not the if the answer is not in the manual, go with a question to the language teacher, to thematic forums of language amateurs, or look for the answer yourself in textbooks or on the internet. Multimedia Simulator. The grammar section is presented as interactive exercises. Each lesson reveals a specific grammar theme. It is divided into two parts, theoretical and practical. Okay, Multimedia Simulator. The grammar section is presented as a interactive exercises. Oh, I'm so hot, by the way. Multimedia Simulator. The grammar section is presented as interactive exercises. Each lesson reveals a specific grammar theme. It is divided into two parts, theoretical and practical. The theoretical part contains rules, schemes, explaining examples. In the practical part, there are exercises that consolidate the exercises. The abundance of illustrations helps to learn different grammatical constructions. The program notes the student's success, if necessary, prompts. The course is applicable for the independent lessons and for work with the teacher. There are also computer games and applications on mobile devices where the game form is submitted to practice grammatical structures. Oof, dude. Well, here is a picture, which is not pretty useful. It looks like a program very old. Dude, my mind is blowing up right now. Like I cannot stay focused, but it is what it is. I won't be editing this video, by the way, but I will stay focused because we have 20 minutes uh, to keep reading. So, well, this picture, it doesn't look great. Working on mistakes. Detecting and correcting an error is an important element in training. If you're learning on your own, you can use special online language learning portals as a form of control. If you're learning a language under the supervision of a teacher or a competent friend, you can use the following options. A teacher or friend can correct the wrong option immediately by explaining the mistake and making sure that the student who made the mistake has corrected it, using a variety of means, only to draw the student's attention to the bug, to highlight the bug in a writing work. Ask the student to identify the bug and fix or explain the bug. You can use an element of mutual learning by involving other students in again. You can use an element of mutual learning by involving other students in identifying and correcting friends' mistakes. Use teacher assistance. It is easier to learn grammar with a good teacher. A teacher will make it easier by selecting the best teaching material to study on. With a talented teacher, you will not think about what you are doing with grammar. Okay, this is very important. With a talented teacher, you will not think about what you're doing with grammar. Grammar material comes with the lesson. Okay, again, because this is very important for you and for me, or if you want to get a teacher, consider this aspect is pretty important if you want to get a good one. With a talented teacher, you will not think about what you're doing with grammar. Grammar materials comes with the lesson. In this way, you will be able to apply what you have learned in practice. The instructor will explain the grammar rules in a simple and accessible language. A competent instructor will train you on certain constructions until he sees that you have understood everything correctly and can use the knowledge you have gained in oral and written speech. Each teacher has a different. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. Sorry for this. Sorry for this. But I realized that my headphones uh, wasn't. Sorry, as I was saying, my headphones weren't connected, so I was speaking without the headphones connected with my phone on my phone. So sorry about that. My bad. That uh, that you can see with that how my mind is. It's so bad right now. But sorry about that. Okay. Again, the instructor will explain the grammar rules in a simple and accessible language. A competent instructor will train you on certain constructions until he sees that you have understood everything correctly and can use the knowledge you have gained in oral and written speech. Each teacher has different grammatical methods. The main thing is to find a teacher whose style the main thing is to find teacher whose style okay the main thing is to find teacher whose style of explanation will seem to you personally the most understandable. Then then success will not be long in coming. Okay. Okay, the next topic. Actually, in this part of the book wasn't talk about many important things. Like, yeah, of course, if you want to get a good teacher, like if you want to get a native level, you need to have these considerations to get the teacher basically. But I found my more useful uh, those topics which we read yesterday, because are like uh, more easy to do in your daily routine. And those kind of topics and materials to learn are are so accessible for any people, because usually you can find it on internet. Well, it's, I don't know. Okay, again. Well, another important topic which he mentioned, like the author mentioned until now in this part of the book, it's about working on mistakes. Like, you need to train and to improve those mistakes that you have made, because if you don't improve those, or if you don't work on those mistakes, you will making the same mistakes continuously, so it could be a problem. Okay, next topic: phonetics study. I love this topic. I was waiting for this topic, by the way. I love how the importance about phonetics, because, for example, it happens a lot that, for example, you can understand the language and the grammar topics, but when you try to talk with a person in your target language, it's kind of difficult uh, express yourself, because you don't know the particular sounds for each letter, or the particular sounds during the speech. So, for example, in my case, I'm trying to learn German as well, and I can read a little bit, but for example, if I don't know how the phonetics works, I will I won't be able to speak with another person on the street or some so on. Phonetic studies. Phonetics study. The origin of speaking is the mystery of language. Okay, this is very deep. The origin of speaking is the mystery of language. Paul Ricoeur. This is a quote. Phonetics is a section of phonetics is a section of linguistic that studies speech sounds and the sound structure of the language. Syllable sound. Okay. Phonetics is a section of linguistics that studies speech sounds and the sound structure of this language. Syllable sound combinations, patterns of sounds in the speech chain. Phonetics explores the following aspects: anatomophysiological articulation, anatomophysiological dude. Anatomophysiological articulation studies speech sounds in terms of its creation, which speech organs are involved in its pronunciation. Acoustic physical considers sound as an air fluctuation and it fixes its physical character. Dude, I cannot speak. I'm so bad today. This is awful. This is the worst speech that I never had. Oh, dude, I cannot read. It's crazy. Anatomophysiological articulation studies. Anatomophysiological articulation studies speech sounds in terms of its creation, which speech organs are involved in its pronunciation. Okay. Acoustic physical considers sound as an air fluctuation and fixes its physical characteristics: frequency, height, force, amplitude, duration. The functional aspect, phonological, studies the function of sounds in the language, operates with phonemes. Perceptual studies are listening students' perception of speech, establishes relations between sounds pronounced and heard. Basic phonetics units and means. All kinds of phonetics are divided into segmental and supersegmental units. Segmentary units are the units selected in the speech stream. They include sounds, syllables, phonetics, words, rhythmic structures, tact, phonetics verses, syntaxms, phonetic verse. Okay. Phonetic verse, a section of a speech which is an intonation sense unity, separated from both sides by pauses. Syntagm, speech beat, a piece of phonetic verse characterized by a special intonation and clock accent. So the pauses between the strokes are not required or short. Oh, that's so crazy. I didn't know that. Oh, clock accent. It's not very intensive. Phonetic word, rhythmic structure. Part of a verse united by a single verbal accent. Syllable, the smallest unit of a speech chain. Sound is the minimum phonetic unit. Supersegmentary units or intranational means. Units that are superimposed on segmentary ones. Melodic units, tones. Dynamic units, accent, and temporal units, tempo and duration. Percussion,
identification in speech of a certain unit in a row or homogeneous units by means of intensity energy of sound. I'm watching my clock, my timer because I'm so tired, dude. I cannot uh, I cannot leave anymore, you know. But it is what it is. I will continue because at least with this you can see my level. What is my level when my mind cannot think anymore? So that's because I need to improve. Like, and with this at least I can release in myself that I need to make this series to make this series to make these episodes early, because at this time uh, it is not good for anyone, for you and for me as a content creator, because it's awful. But I will upload this because it is another record, so it could be useful. So let's continue with this. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, super-segmentary units, or intranational means units that are superimposed on segmentary ones, melodic units, tone, dynamic units, accent, and temporal units, tempo and duration, percussion, identification in speech of a certain unit in a row of homogeneous units by means of intensity, energy of sound. Okay, tone, a rhythmic and melodic pattern of speech determined by the change in the frequency of a sound signal. Tempo, speed of speech, which is determined by the number of segments units pronounced in a unit of time. Duration, time of speech segment sounding. Okay, those are the most important topics which are related with phonetics. Well, basically, here it is another title, which in the same section about phonetics, which it is key points of the articular approach. To learn a foreign language, you should start with the production of sounds. Oh, I got it. To learn a foreign language, you should start with the production of sounds, and for this you need an introductory phonetic course. Each sound, each sound should be thoroughly worked out separately. To ensure the purity of pronunciation, it is necessary to study the work of the articulation organs when pronouncing each sound. The development of pronunciation and the development of pronunciation and auditory skills should be done separately. The development of pronunciation and auditory skills should be done separately. The main stage of working From here, the main stages of working with sounds have been defined. From here, the main stages. From here, the main stages of working with sounds have been defined. Orientation. You should carefully read the position of the articulating. Dude. Orientation. You should carefully read the position of the articulating organs when speaking sound. Planning. Once you have understood the instructions, place your articulating. Planning. Once you have understood the instructions, place your articulating organs in the correct position. Articulating or pronunciating the sound. Fixing. When uttering when uttering a sound, keep the articulating organs in the correct position. Fixing. When uttering a sound, keep the articulating organs in the correct position for a while to better memorize and fix the position. Yeah, I got it. Like fixing. when yeah, sound sound processing in the phonetic exercise system. Sound processing in the phonetic exercise system. The studied sound is pronounced in various combinations with other sounds, in words and word combinations. It is considered that it's not necessary to know the meaning of spoken words. What? It is considered that it's not necessary to know the meaning of spoken words. Really, that's crazy. From the very first minutes of training, from the very first minutes of training, attention is paid not only to the correct pronunciation of sounds. From the very first minutes of training, attention is paid not only to the correct pronunciation of sounds, but also to accent, rhythm, pauses, and intonations. If you do not pay attention to this, these little things will be perceived as things of secondary order, and to retrain them later it's very difficult. You need a good diction, clear, precise. You need a good diction, clear, precise pronunciation of words. To achieve good results, you need to work on improving the articulation apparatus, develop its technical capabilities. Okay, tomorrow, until now, this chapter continue for sure. This page continue with more information uh, under the page, but until now this chapter of this podcast section, because I don't want to embarrassing myself too much. I had a lot of mistakes in this chapter, so I will have more consideration with me and with all of you for sure in the next one, because I released that my voice at this moment of the day it's completely broken. My pronunciation is awful. My voice is awful as well, and I cannot read it properly. Like I cannot stay focused. But um, yeah, that's it. Basically, I need to organize and make this podcast earlier. So until now this chapter, and tomorrow I will making the next one. I will continue reading this for me and for all of you. We read like 8 pages, so it's more productive than yesterday. And this topic is pretty interesting for me because I love phonetics, and I try to improve my voice and the way that in which I'm and the way in I'm speak. So yeah, that's it. I love this chapter. So it was a pleasure for me, and I hope you see you in another video like tomorrow. And have a good day. See you later.